Almost all of us know someone who's affected by mental illness. For 2.5 million Americans, the diagnosis is bipolar 1 disorder. But most people aren't clear about the individual nature of it. Dr. Sachs joins us to talk about the clinical challenges and recent developments in treatment of bipolar 1 disorder. Good morning, Dr. Sachs.
Good morning, Mary.
A definition to start. What is bipolar 1 disorder?
Yeah, this is a condition that used to be under the banner manic depressive illness. And what that tells you is that patients will experience extreme abnormal mood states with both highs, that would be like mania, and lows, depressive episodes. And they will alternate between those states and recoveries. And what we want to do is bring about fewer, briefer, or milder episodes. And that really is the key objective in treatment.
As we were starting this conversation, I mentioned the individual nature. How do symptoms differ from patient to patient?
Yeah, when we talk about these episodes and we identify them by the predominant mood that patients experience, but along with abnormal mood, they will also experience a range of other symptoms that will affect their sleep, their appetite, their energy, their cognition. And when you see the combinations of those treatments, it really can be very complicated to make the diagnosis because not only do they vary from patient to patient, but the same patient in the same mood state may have their symptoms change quite a bit from episode to episode. So that can cause a lot of confusion. And I would like people to start out with the awareness that this does all fit together in one picture.
How has treatment evolved over the years?
Well, 30 years ago when I started my career, we only had lithium, just one treatment. And that was great for the people who responded to it, but a lot of people didn't respond. And over the last 3 decades, newer treatments have been introduced, and every one of them is an opportunity to get more patients a treatment that they can respond to. Over the last few years, we've seen the introduction of a class of drugs called atypical antipsychotics. Each of these, and there are about a dozen of them, each of these has a unique profile, and they work for patients a little bit differently, a little different tolerability profile perhaps, and it gives us a chance to match patients with treatments and get a lot more people the benefit of treatment over time.
I feel like it's easy, just with medicine in general to talk about it, but I mean, these are lives, these are real people with families and jobs. What kind of difference do these treatments make in their lives?
I'm really glad you brought that up because, we might think of a person suffering with their symptoms, but it's much more broad in its impact than that because family cohesion, employment, enjoyment of life, all of these things are really impacted by the illness. And you may get better from your episode, but if you don't have your job anymore, or you've lost friends or relationships with family members because of what happened during an episode, those are huge losses for you. And the good news is that they're largely avoidable because this is a very treatable condition.
Is there one website, if our viewers would like to learn more about bipolar 1 disorder or these new treatments, where would you send them?
I really like the Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance website. So the DBSA group, this is a patient-led group. They've got lots of great resources on their website, and you can just put depression and bipolar in your browser and search, and that website will come up for you.
Okay, Dr. Sachs, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Mary. Appreciate your time.
Mike?